It's been a long time since I've done a video on this channel. So my name is I Am Queen Candace from the tribe of Zebulon. Welcome to Abba's Audio channel. For those that see this video, I pray that it blesses you. I'd like to start off first with praying over this video. With the key of David and by the sound of my voice, I place the cloak of invisibility over this communication, over our minds, bodies, hearts, and spirits, in Holy Yeshua HaMashiach's name, Amen. So I'm jumping on here as my little beaver, as I call him, is sleeping. And I'd like to share something that was brought to my attention. So for those that see the thumbnail, I have noon on my board and Matthew chapter 13 along with the kingdom reign. So I'm just going to start off here. Oh, hey girl. Shalom. Blessings to you. I pray you're doing well. Mwah. So I was reading Matthew 13 earlier and some things were shown to me, and so I thought I'd share that with for anybody who watches this video. So starting off in 13, and on that day Yeshua went out of the house and sat by the sea, and large crowds were gathered together to him, so that he went into a boat and sat down, and all the crowd stood on the beach. And he spoke to them much in parables, saying, see, the sower went out to sow. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for a minute. For those that are with this channel, you know it's called Abba's Odiot. So we talk about the ancient Hebrew pictographs and how they tie into our lives today. But when we go out to our gardens, we sow seeds, which in the Hebrew tongue is called noon. And we also sow seeds within our mind. And so I'll go into that a little bit more on what this parable is actually talking about. So it says here in verse 4, and as he sowed, some indeed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. And others fell on rocky places, where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, because they had no depth of soil. But when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered. And others fell among thorns. And the thorns came up and choked them. And others fell on good soil and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So when we see this verse right here in verse 9, it says, he who has ears, let him hear. So you're not going to understand this parable. Anybody that picks up this book today or 2,000 years ago would not understand what's being written here unless they've been given ears to hear and eyes to see. So continuing on, we read here, and the taught ones came and said to them, why do you speak to them in parables? And he answering said to them, because it has been given to you to know the secrets of the reign of the heavens. What is the reign of the heavens? We're going to get to that. But to them it has not been given. So some of us in this generation, like my girlfriend with Spirit and Truth, Wendy, some of us have been given the secrets to the reign of the heavens. And so when we continue on in verse 12, for whoever possesses, to him more shall be given, and he shall have overflowingly. But whoever does not possess, even what he possesses shall be taken away from him. Because of this I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. And in them the prophecy of Yeshayahu or Isaiah is completely fulfilled, which says, hearing you shall hear and by no means understand, and seeing you shall see and by no means perceive. For the heart of this people has become thickened, and their ears are hard of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, lest they should understand with their heart and turn back, and I heal them. We've got to turn back every aspect of our being in order to be healed. Our hearts, it says to understand with their heart. We need to understand things with our heart and then turn back to him, and he will heal us. This is what the reign is all about, the kingdom reign within us. So 16, it goes on, it says, and blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you that many prophets and righteous ones longed to see what you see and did not see it, and to hear what you hear and did not hear it. You then hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the reign, the kingdom within us children, and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what is sown in his heart, in her heart. This is that sown by the wayside, and that sown on rocky places. This is she who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in themselves, but is short-lived, and when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he or she stumbles. Now I'm going to stop here for a minute. So you may see I'm a little emotional at the moment. There's a reason for it. Because I had something personal happen recently. And so this hits home for me. I had pressure and persecution arise in my life, and many of us do, that are preaching of the kingdom within. And so what happens a lot of times, in many cases, when we're preaching the word and whatever words have been given to us by the Most High, they're not always received, okay? So those of us that the Yeshua, Jesus talks about here, he says that blessed are you who have been given, the secrets of the reign of the heavens. So many of us have been given the secrets to the reign of the heavens. And when we speak to people in parables, which is what, for those that look at the thumbnail, many do not understand the ancient Hebrew pictographs. And when we do videos or posts of this and that and the other, we're speaking in a language that is not known to people in this generation. Even if people are familiar with their Bibles, that doesn't mean that they know the Father, know his secrets, know his languages, if you will, his the unique ways that he speaks to his children, right? And so I share this because in verse 21 here it says, he has no root in himself, but is short-lived, and when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles. And this has been me. Actually, for about 6 months now-ish, I've had different things happen that have been super uncomfortable in my own personal life with people that I've known for years, thought I had a real deep connection with them. And, when you're not seeking his reign, his kingdom, he will uproot you. Speaking of being uprooted, he will uproot you from people that are in your life if they are not following in that same direction. And it hurts my heart so much, y'all. It hurts my heart to lose people in my life that have been there for years because they think I'm going off the deep end and I'm into, things of unrighteousness, new age stuff, witchcraft, whatever. Persecution's rising. And they don't actually see that is not the case because they haven't been given ears to see, or they haven't been given eyes to see or ears to hear what the Ruach, what the Holy Spirit is speaking. And I'm going to keep reading, because for anybody that knows me, I can just jabber, 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 a bunch of chickens. Cluck, 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 cluck. So I'm going to stick to the word here and let it pretty much speak for itself. Do a little bit of commentary, right? But let me go through my messages here, see what Wendy had to say. And oh, hey, Shorty Medina, and sing a new song. Welcome. All right, what we got here? Blessings. Okay. I did Offspring word study Saturday, or was a double. Oh, how interesting. Shorty, hey girl. And we are seed planters. It's up to Abba. Yep. It's up to the Father, to God, to Yahweh, Hayah, the great I am, to water and grow them. If we overwater the seed, it'll float away or create root rot. Oh my gosh. Wow. That just spoke to me, Wendy. I literally I'll have to share a dream, or I guess I'll just do it live. Why not? Why not? I haven't been on here in a long time. I'm just going to share it. Abba, please give me precise words to speak and get to the point. I had a dream regarding a garden. Ties into what we're reading here, so I guess it's appropriate. I had a dream. It's probably been a few months now. And in that dream, I had a hose and a sprayer in my hand. And on the right side of the garden, I was watering the garden, but it looked like a monsoon had come in and watered it. It was so watered. There was so much mem on that side of the garden that it was like overwatered. Like there was no need for watering, period, on the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, the produce, the garden itself, was like parched. Like, actually, it ties right into this, was parched. And it needed a lot of watering. And so I was given the understanding that this is the right and left-hand side hemispheres of our resh, our brain, our mind. This is where, for those that recall the video I did years back, resh, I had drawn on my whiteboard, okay? And I had drew resh in the form of a woman, okay? And she had noon seeds as hair. And at first I started out and started going, you know, and making it all rainbowy and colory and all that stuff. And then Abba caused me to make them into noon, right? So put heads on them. And so I have that video on my channel for those that haven't watched it. I don't remember what the title of it is, but it's really obvious because the video shows a woman with rainbow hair, and it talks about the wheat and the tares of one's mind. And so that ties into this because what Wendy was saying here, we are seed planters. It's up to Abba to water and grow them. If we overwater the seed, it'll float away or create root rot. That is very, very true. So let's continue reading here. And so let's see where, okay. Oh, okay, here we go. So, and that sown on rocky places this is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but is short-lived, and when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles. So I've been stumbling because of what I've been persecuted towards recently. And 22 says, and that sown among the thorns is he who hears the word. And the worry of this age and the deceit of riches choke the word, and it becomes fruitless. I can also relate with that and things that I'm personally experiencing in my life right now. So if we continue on in verse 23, and that sown on the good soil is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens. So all of these, he's talking about the rain of the heavens. And as we know, and Wendy, maybe you know, or Shorty, maybe you know, or anybody who's on here knows where it talks about this. But it says that, the rain of the heavens has already come down, right? So in verse 24, it says, another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens has become like a man, a woman, who sowed good seed in their field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed darnel, or tares, among the wheat and went away. This is the wheat and the tares of one's mind. The true seeds versus the false ones, right? And when the blade sprouted and bore fruit, then the darnel also appeared. And the servants of the master of the house came and said to him, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? From where then does it have the darnel? And he said to them, a man, an enemy, did this. And the servant said to him, do you wish then that we go and gather them up? But he said, no, lest while you gather up the darnel, you also uproot the wheat with them, because they look identical. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of harvest I shall say to the reapers, first gather the darnel and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my granary, my house, my bait, the kingdom within. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is less than all the other seeds, but when it is grown, it is greater than the plants and becomes a tree. We're likened unto trees, y'all, so that the birds of the heaven come and dwell in its branches. 33. Another parable he spoke to them, the rain of the heavens is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal until all was leavened. Yeshua said, or Jesus, said all this to the crowds in parables, and he did not speak to them without a parable, so that what was spoken by the prophet might be filled, saying, I shall open my mouth in parables. I shall pour forth what has been hidden from the foundation of the world. Then having sent the crowds away, Yeshua went into the house, and his taught ones came to him, saying, explain to us the parable of the darnel of the field. And he answering said to them, he who is sowing the good seed is the son of Adam. I'm going to stop here for a minute. Son of Adam can also be translated as children of Adam, Ben ha-Adam. And the field is the world. And the good seed, these are the sons or children of the rain. But the darnel are the sons or children of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil, Hashatan. And the harvest is the end of this age, and the reapers are the messengers, Melachim. As the darnel then is gathered and burned in the fire, so it shall be at the end of this age. The son, the children of Adam, shall send out his messengers. Okay, so son of Adam shall send out his messengers, and they shall gather out of his rain, all the stumbling blocks, those that are not founded in truth, those that are not able to see and hear. His rain, all the stumbling blocks, and those doing lawlessness, not listening to his instructions. Lawlessness, the Torah, which is written on our hearts, according to Jeremiah 31. 42 here says, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous shall shine forth as the sun in the reign of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the reign of the heavens is like treasure hidden in a field. We have treasure hidden inside of us here, okay? Which a man, having found it, hid. And for joy over it, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. That means the reign of the heavens, Matthew 6:33, okay? Matthew 6:33 reveals the kingdom. 33, I'm going to go into this probably with another video at some point. But 33, we have 33 vertebrae along our spine. And this has to do with us healing the kingdom within and ascending Jacob's ladder, aka our spine. And so, but it says here, where was I? The rain is like a treasure hidden in the field, which a man having found it hid. And for joy over it, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. So in Matthew 6:33, it says, seek ye first the reign of Elohim, the reign of God, and his righteousness. And then all these things shall be added unto us. All these things that we need. We don't need to worry about, any of our needs, any of our physical needs, because he knows what we need. But if we're not seeking his reign, his kingdom, his righteousness, then we've missed the whole point. So Matthew 6:33 talks about the kingdom reign. And 33, I could go a lot more deeper into what 6:33 actually says, but I'm just going to keep it short. So if we continue on here in 45, again, the reign of the heavens is like a man, a merchant seeking fine pearls, who, when he has found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. 47, again, the reign of the heavens is like a dragnet that was thrown into the sea and gathered some of every kind, which when it was filled, they drew to shore. And they sat down and gathered the good into containers, but threw the rotten away. We've got to get rid of the rotten things that don't profit us. Thus shall it be at the end of this age, the messenger shall come forth and separate the wicked out of the midst of the righteous. Okay? We might have people in our life that don't seem wicked to us or unrighteous, but thus they are, because we are to be fruit inspectors. We are to judge the fruit. We have to separate the people in our lives from the darkness that's within them that they're not even aware of. So I keep reading here. Where did I leave off at? Okay, in the midst of the righteous, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire, there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. And Yeshua said to them, have you understood all this? They said to him, yes, master. So my point in reading Matthew 13 here, I'm going to get caught up on my messages here. I met at your leisure, the way. We are see. Okay. I met at your leisure, by the way. Sorry, I'm working. Abba, Father, open up eyes, ears, and heart to listen and understand. Yes, Shorty, absolutely. Noon is offspring, heir, the good seed of Yahusha. Yeah, Yahusha. We are heirs according to the promise. Amen. People or families. Okay. Well, the little beaver just woke up and I'm hearing him cry. So I'm going to have to get off here and go get my son. So those of us that have eyes to see and ears to hear, we will be speaking a language that others of us do not understand. So other people out there, they may profess to know the Bible, the scriptures, but they haven't sought the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, to refine them, right, in the fires machine, to refine Abba's people. And so what that says to me in my own personal life, and when I read this, is many will stumble at the words that we speak, a language that they do not understand, in how we interact, publicly, on social media platforms, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube or any of these other social media platforms. And so many of us will find ourselves having persecution arise. And for me, I guess you could say I find that my heart can be pretty sensitive, and I need to grow a little bit of a backbone, if you will, right? be stronger than I am emotionally and mentally to not let these waves of persecution hit me as I have allowed them to do. And so I realized that a lot of these messages I put out, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube, many will not have eyes to see or ears to hear because I'm speaking in parables. That's literally what Yahushua, Yeshua, Jesus, this literally is what he's explaining in this chapter here, that he's speaking to them in parables because they do not understand. And it will cause many to rise up against us that are speaking parables in this season. And I don't know if you've noticed, for those that understand the ancient Hebrew pictographs, when we write this stuff down, we most certainly are writing things in parables. We are speaking things in parables. In fact, my husband gave me a nickname, and or I shouldn't say nickname. He says that I speak Otish, which is a mix between English and Odiot. And so those that have eyes to see and ears to hear will know what I'm speaking. But I'm speaking in parables, and many will not understand that in this generation. And that's why he spoke to them. So we have to recognize that people that rise up against us, even if they're super, super close to us, they have not been given, an opening to the blinds, if you will, the veil, the curtains over the windows in your house. I'm looking out at my window right now, and I'm seeing the windows are like kind of a form of a door, right? But they're the eyes of our house, and it causes us to be able to see what's going on out there, right? And we can put curtains over those windows to block out light or block out from anyone seeing in, right? Or have blinds, right? And close those blinds. It's interesting, they call them blinds. Whoa, hey, cool. Because they cause a blindness so you're not able to actually see in or out, right? But my point in sharing that is Abba has not given the say to a lot of people, even those closest to us, to command for those blinds to be opened in our houses, for the curtains to be opened up. So thus there is a veil, there is a blindness to where people do not know what we're saying, and they will accuse us because they do not see the enemy working within themselves. And so we got to clean out our houses and get ready for Yeshua, Yahushua, Yeshua, Emmanuel, our Mashiach, because he's coming, and he's ready for our houses to be in order. And how do we get those houses in order? We go through prayer and fasting, and we've got to seek his reign and his kingdom. And that kingdom has come down, and it's right in here, y'all. The kingdom is right in here. And he desires for us to heal. So I'm going to be talking about that more on this channel. Whether I do a video or a post, I'm going to be talking about this kingdom within, the Beit within us. And how we need to ascend Jacob's ladder, our spine, and heal. And whatever we're shown in our healing, we're witnesses. And whatever we show in our lives of what we are witnessing in our own personal lives when it comes to healing, supernatural healing, we need to share that. We need to share what Abba is showing us. Even if people are persecuting us, even if we get thrown out of congregations or out of local groups that we're part of, we have got to do our part, even if they hate us. Even if they hate us. Because it says to do good to those who are persecuting and hating us. And so, anyways, I'm going to get off here and go tend to my son because he's been crying for a little over 5 minutes now, I guess. But I love you all. I'm super glad I got on here and chose to do this today. I will say something just on a side note. Oh, here, I'll share this too real quick. So I drew this, and I know it's not fancy like all the ones I've done before in the past. I had to do something quick. So we have the soil, which I didn't have brown. We have the soil, we have the grass, and then we have the noon seed, kingdom reign, Matthew 13. So we've got to make sure that our seeds are falling on fertile ground. And I'm actually going to be talking about seeds inadvertently here before long. I'm not sure if Abba wants me to do another live stream like this, or if I'm just going to do a post. I'm not sure, but he's shown me some things about the seed of the enemy. And so I pray this blessed folks, and I enjoyed doing this live stream with y'all. Oh, it's lovely. Several people jumped on. Hey, Camilla and Dave, Debbie and Kaylee. Oh, hello, family. Mishpacha. And, okay, we had Wendy and, oh, wonderful. It's nice to see y'all. I pray everybody's doing well. I guess I'm going to get off here. So keep sowing seeds, y'all. Keep sowing them. Good seeds that will yield a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. And work on healing and getting the seeds out of our mind, out of our resh mind. Get those seeds that don't need to be there, that grew a tree, and we need to chop that tree down and throw it into the fire. So, and the only way we can do that is by seeking the Father through prayer and fasting. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Shalom, family. Bye. Oh gosh, how do I turn this off? Here we go again, y'all. Okay, maybe that's it. No? Goodness. I'm gonna figure out how to turn this off. Oh my gosh. This is all new, y'all. Wendy, are you still on here? How do I do this? How do I turn this off? Goodness. No, that's not it. Goodness. No, that's not it. Okay. This is how long it's been since I've been on these. Okay, lighting on. Okay. There we go. Oh, video? Is that it? No, that's not it. How do I turn this thing off? Oh my gosh. Live. Maybe I go up here. There should be an X towards the top or end live stream button. Yeah, that sounds like great, but I don't see an end live stream button. I'm on my phone. X towards the top. Oh, haha. X towards, hey, there's a ta, or a tet at the top left-hand corner. All right, y'all. Mwah.